All right, hello again, everyone. This is Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and in the previous video, we have been working on our C# program that's a payroll program, and what I did in the last lecture was I created the hourly worker. Okay, and if you look at this, we use constants: minimum hours of 0, maximum hours of 84, minimum rate of 0, maximum rate of 99.99. If they worked overtime, meaning they worked any hours over 40, they got time and a half. We used a constant for that as well. And again, we calculated the gross pay as hours times rate for anybody who worked 40 hours or less, and 40 times the hourly rate plus the hours worked minus 40 times the hourly rate times the overtime rate of 1.5% for overtime employees. So it brings us to the second thing that's in here, and that's our piece worker. Okay, so we've already got min piece, max piece, min price per piece, and max price per piece. And as it says, we'll prompt for the number of pieces. You can make it an hour, must be between 0 and 100. And the amount you're paid per piece, which must be between a penny and $1. And then simply, there is no other check to make. We just calculate the gross pay for each employee as the number of pieces they make times the price per piece. Okay? All right, so what I think I'm going to be able to do in here is to go on and for the hourly, as we did this in here, okay, we're going to have an input and an input, so we're going to do something very similar to what we did before. All right, so that's in here. Now where we've got calculate gross pay, let's see, I'm going to change that right now because we need a gross pay for all of our different types of employees. So where we called calculate gross pay, and it's in here someplace. Let's see. That was in here. There we go. Gross equals this. Calculate gross pay. All right. Well, let's find it this way. There it is. All right, so we're going to change that from gross pay, which it is right now, to gross pay hourly. All right, and the reason for that is we're going to need a gross pay hourly. We're going to also need a gross pay piece worker, a gross pay, etc. So we're going to need all those. So we'll change that also to calculate gross pay hourly. Okay, which means we've got to change that down here. Okay, that should get rid of all the errors that we had. Let's double check. So again, if we come in here, I'm not going to do the error conditions, and I've got to fix these, hit any key to continue. I've got too many of them. So 1, we will say 40 hours. All right, 25, and the gross is 1,000. So that worked. Let's try it one more time with some overtime. So, whoops, that'll be 50 and 20, and that should be 1,100, and it is. So those are both working. You know, I'll worry about the aesthetics a little bit later. Okay, so we're in here right now in the piecework function. So the way we did our last one, because I'm going to do it basically the same kind of way. So for hourly, we said enter any key to continue, and I don't think I need that now. So for now, at least, I'm going to take that and that, And I don't know about that one, but I'm going to take that as well. All right, I'm just going to steal this. Okay, and we'll make our changes accordingly. Okay, now again, don't worry if I get any errors. We're going to fix all of it in just a minute. So we've got the min piece, max piece, min PP piece, and max PP piece. Okay. So we're going to make some changes in here right now, as you probably guess. We'll have this will have to be an integer because it's a whole number. Int pieces made. And that'll be just 0. And this decimal will be price per piece. Okay. And this is going to be, instead of gross pay hourly, this is going to be gross pay, we'll just call it piece. Okay, hopefully that makes enough sense to everybody. All right, so this will be pieces made. Okay, and it'll be input valid pieces made. It doesn't exist, and that's why we're getting that. So, and this will say pieces made equal pieces made dot toString. We won't. That's a whole number, so we will get rid of that C2 that's in there. All right, and this will be price per piece. And that'll be input valid price per piece. All right. Again, those haven't been written yet, and that's why we're getting the error messages. Okay. All right. Now we've got to write these two routines, input valid pieces made and input valid price per piece. For now, I'm just going to put return 0 so we don't get an error. All right. And here we're going to call that one. And again, we will just return 0M so we don't get an error message there. Okay, so that should get rid of any errors we have. Oh, we didn't write the calculate gross pay. This is for piece. So this is calculate gross pay piece. And again, that doesn't exist, but we'll need to pass that pieces made and price per piece. Okay, so let's get that. Again, we'll get an error here. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it right away. that gets rid of those errors. And again, we'll just return 0M. Okay. All right. Well, we haven't written these yet, so we have to do that right now. And again, it's going to be done in the same type of format that we did over here, where we tell you to input it. All right. We attempt to convert. If it fails, okay, we get an illegal input, then we do a range check, and if everything's valid, we return it. So I'm just going to grab this. And again, we'll use that, for lack of better words, kind of as a template, and I'm going to have to make a boatload of changes to it. But again, that's okay. All right, and again, don't worry about any errors. We're going to get rid of all of them right away. Hit any key to continue. Again, I don't think I'm going to need this, but we'll see in a minute. And this is going to be called pieces made str. String holding input pieces made. And this will just be pieces made. Okay, so input pieces made into pieces made str. So enter pieces made. Must be between min piece and max piece. All right, and this will be pieces made equal read line. Attempt to convert this to a decimal. All right, so we're going to attempt to convert this and put it into pieces made. If it fails, show an error message, call input valid pieces made again. Illegal input, please try again. Input valid pieces made, and we'll return 0. Remember, this is returning an integer. All right, so we've got this. We attempt to convert it. If it fails, we're calling that, and then we'll do a range check. All right, so if we get down to here, the valid pieces made were input. So we'll return that value to piece, what do we call it? Piece work or piece worker or piece work. Okay, so that's all of, whoops. Dozen pieces made an int. that should be an int, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's the first one. Then we have to do price per piece. This should be an int. Alright, so I'm going to grab this one that I just did, and I'm going to use that as a template for my next one. Okay. This will be a decimal. Alright, so please pieces made. Should be please input pieces made. Alright, so this is please input price per piece must be between min price per piece and max price per piece. Price per piece str equals read line. Attempt to convert. Okay. Earlier when I did this, I wanted to attempt to convert it to an integer value, because that's an int.try parse. Alright, so that'll be decimal. Okay. If it fails, error message and call it again. So and we'll return 0m because it's a decimal. Just grab this, put it here. Remove now. All right. All right, so now I can do my calculation. And that's pretty simple. That's just return pieces made times price per piece. That's it. All right, so I should have two of these now. Where am I for time? Just fine. I'm only at 20 minutes. File. Save all. Let's try the second one. When we get done, we'll go over all of it. So this will be a 2. Okay. Well, that's wrong because it's not. That should be between 0 and 100. So let's fix that right away. You'll see these are no longer. Okay. So the max number of pieces you can make are not 1, they're 100. So that was wrong. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's say you made 50 pieces. Okay. And let's say that they were 50 cents each. Okay, that would be 25, so that worked. Let's do it again, and let's put stuff that doesn't work. So we'll put in here 111 or whatever in legal input, try again. Negative, legal, try again. All right, well, that's wrong. It says pieces made is 0, so we got to fix that. That's not a problem. And input the price, let's try that. That's illegal. That's illegal. Okay. There's some mistakes in here, but let's talk about what we have so far. Again, you can see the minimum. Okay. I want to change this to minimum pieces made and max pieces made, which is going to give me a bunch of errors, but it's a little bit more self-documenting. All right, so min pieces made, max pieces made, min pp piece, that's okay. So don't worry, all errors are going to be fixed in a matter of minutes here. All right, I want to go down to this one. So this is piecework. This, again, oops. This is the number of pieces made, and it has to be between 0 and 100. This is a price for each piece, and that has to be between 0 and $1. This is the gross pay, which is going to be pieces made times price per piece. All right. Input pieces made in an hour. Valid range is, and well, I guess it's okay, is 0 through 100. All right. So we're saying that, then we're saying what the pieces made were. That's good. All right. And then we've got our validate Something is goofed up here, but we'll fix it in a minute. Oh, okay. And this is input price per piece. And again, here the valid range is okay, and then we write it out. This is calculate gross pay for piece worker as pieces made times price per piece. And hopefully you see this by adding this in here. It's adding a lot of documentation. So hopefully that's allowing you to figure out what's going on here. So again, this now is min pieces made, and this is max pieces made. Okay, so we want to input it. All right, and that's going to go in there. Then we're going to attempt to convert it. Stick it into pieces made. Good. If it fails, we say illegal input, please try again. We call invalid pieces made again. Or input valid pieces made again. All right, we return 0 when we're all done. I think that's where it's goofing up. It's still returning the 0 there. I'm just thinking that if I comment that out, I might get an error, but we'll see. So this is our range check. All right. If we get down to here, it's valid, so we return pieces made. Now, if I do comment this out, up here, pieces made was 0. So what we can do is force that to happen here. Well, I want to see if this, before we go on to price per piece, I want to see if this fixes it. Wow, that's wrong, 999. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at that because there's a problem with it, and it's probably a pretty simple fix. But let me just go over the rest of this, and then we'll stop for now. So I'm doing a similar thing here for the price per piece. Calculate gross, that's the gross. Input price per piece string, price per piece, and input it into, that should be input into price per piece string. Okay, must be between the minimum and the maximum. Price per piece is the read line. Attempt to convert it price per piece into price per piece. If it doesn't work, all right, finally, if we get down to here, it's just return that by that. That appears to be working just fine. What I'm going to do is I'm at 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop on this. And I'm going to figure out what the problem is, go over it with you next time. And after I do, I'm also going to go on to the next one, okay, which is our commission. So I'll see you then.